Hello, I thought that I would do a bit of a tax return walkthrough today. What I'm going to do is basically file a dummy tax return just to show you what you need to do. All of the figures in it will not be correct. They're not my real business figures. Just want to disclaim that at the beginning, but it's just going to be a little walkthrough so you can see what all the different pages look like, which should hopefully be helpful if you've never done a tax return before. And just to show you that it's not too scary. It will show you some details like who can use the service and that kind of thing, so just make sure you meet all of those. So I'm going to click start now. So it might autofill some of these and I'm going to just blur over anything that's like very personal to me. It has filled in my taxpayer reference, my address and my national insurance number. If it does that for you, just make sure that they're all correct. And then if your address is incorrect, you can tick that box and it will let you change it, as you can see there. If you do have student loan repayments, just check that they're correct. Tick this box to say that you're going to be honest in your tax return, that's very important, and then just answer these. If you click the little green question mark at any time, it will give you a bit more information about what they're asking. In this section, again, you just need to answer the questions, and the reason I ask these is so that they're not asking you any irrelevant questions on your tax return, and it will subsequently take a lot less time to do. That's why I always suggest filing your tax return online, because there's a lot less to fill in. And then again, there's just some more information about you to fill in, so just answer all of those questions again. Now we've got the fill in your tax return page, so this is just going to tell me all the parts that I need to fill in, and the bits with the tick are the bits that I've already completed. As you can see, I'm 1% complete, which is encouraging. Could do without that. So you can either go through these in any order that you want by clicking these links, or you can just select next to start doing it in order. So I'm going to do that. I'm showing you quite a straightforward self-employment tax return, which the majority of people will fill in. So if you do have any complications, you might not necessarily have the same pages that I show you in this walkthrough, but you will see most of these if you do just have quite a straightforward tax return. So just read through these and see if any of them apply to you. So in this section, you just need to fill in a little bit of your business. You can keep it really simple. They just want a very brief outline of what you actually do, so don't feel the need to fill up that entire box. You'll have this page, so you'll need to put when your books or accounts are made up to you. So if you're going strictly by the tax year, that will be the 5th of April, or you can also make them up to the 31st of March. Some people prefer to do that because it's a bit easier for their income and expenses spreadsheet. Do you use cash basis or traditional accounting? What cash basis means is that you record your income and expenses as you receive or pay them, and if you use traditional accounting, it means that you record them from when you either received an invoice or you sent an invoice. So for this section, this is kind of like the main sort of section. A lot of the rest of it won't really apply to you. So you've got your turnover, so that's all the money you've made from your business, and then any other income which you've not included in that section. For trading income, that'll probably be 0 for you. And then what it will do is it will calculate a number here. So let's just put a random amount. So as you can see, it just comes up straight away there. You can record your expenses as a single total value or as a detailed breakdown. If you have earned less than £83,000, you can just put it in as a single total value, and that is a bit easier. I just put in a random amount here. It will automatically work out my net profit, and that's going to help HMRC to work out how much tax I need to pay. Capital allowances are assets to the business, so they're quite similar to expenses, except they are used for more than a year. So it could be something like a computer, a printer, that kind of thing. If you're not sure, think about it. Do I use this for more than a year? Is it an asset to the business? If it's something like a subscription used more than a year, you can still count that as an expense. Goods or services for your own use, this will be if you have a business where you maybe have stock, then if you've used one of your own items that you've made, you would put that in here. Your profit will be automatically calculated. If you made a loss last year or any other years, if you have, you can bring it forward, and what that will do is take some money off your next tax payment. And if there's any other business income, you can just put that in here, but don't put a 0 if it's nothing, just leave it blank. And if you have made a profit, it will then show you here, and if you made a loss, it will show it here. If you have made a loss, then you can put that info in here. You can decide to use that next year. You can decide to set it off against any other income. If you pay tax on employment, you might want to claim that back, and you might want to carry it back to another year that you've paid tax on and get a refund, or you can carry it forward to next year if you are a subcontractor, which I'm guessing most of you aren't. So you can just leave this blank if it doesn't apply to you. If it does apply to you, you'll know, so I won't need to explain that. So here, class 4 national insurance contributions. It looks like I made an error, but I haven't. It's just kind of trying to draw my attention to that. Just check that none of those apply to you. If you've got any other information that you think that they need to know, then you can include that. Then what it will do is show a summary. I'm going to blank all that out. Then you will just click next, just make sure it all looks right and it matches your records. What it will do as well is like round it to the nearest number. For this bit, it's class 2 national insurance contributions. Now what you need to know about these is that they will be getting rid of them next year. So this bit won't even count, it will just be class 4. So just keep that in mind. Obviously you don't need to worry about it now, but it's just something good to know. So if your profits are more than £6,025, you have to pay them, and it will work out an amount to put it here. You can either choose to pay them voluntarily, or you can choose not to pay them if your profits for the year are less than that threshold of £6,025. The reason you might want to pay them voluntarily is because paying national insurance contributions gives you access to some benefits, including the state pension. And if you have gaps, you might not be entitled to some of those benefits. You might just want to pay it voluntarily just in case, but that is completely up to you. If you're not sure, you might want to speak to a tax professional just to kind of know your options. Underpaid tax. You'll know if you've underpaid tax, hopefully. It will usually estimate that. If it's not correct, say no, and you will be shown this screen. So you can just put what your records are and then say why it's different. It's a personal thing, because a lot of the things that I say yes to or no to might apply to you in a different way, but it's just good to kind of see the screens and see what they mean, and I guess kind of have someone explain what they mean. So underpaid tax included in PAYE. If you're in employment last tax year and you've underpaid any tax in that, it will also show you there. If you haven't, it will just show you the same screen again and ask you for a little bit more information. Other debts could be if you have been like overpaid tax credits or something like that. Then again, if you've overpaid tax, and again you will know if you have, and it will ask you for your bank details on the next page. So if you are filing your tax return before the 30th of December and you owe less than £3,000 of tax, you can actually move that forward to your 2019 to 2020 tax code. Not sure if you would want to do this, but you can do. If you file your tax return after the 30th of December, then they can't do. If you are likely to have to pay tax this current tax year, which is 2018 to 19, as opposed to last tax year, which is the tax return we're filling in now, you can use your PAYE tax code to collect tax during that year. For this bit, adjustments to tax, you will know, or if you have an accountant, they will know if you need to make adjustments. If you have any provisional or estimated figures, you need to say yes. So this is referring to your income and expenses and your capital allowances. So if you've lost the receipts or invoices for any of those, then you can either use what they call a provisional or an estimated figure. So a provisional figure is when you can get the receipt or the invoice back and you're just waiting for confirmation of it. And an estimated figure is where you have estimated the figure because you can't get another receipt or invoice. So an example of that might be where you have paid for petrol and you're claiming that as a business expense, but you've lost the receipt for it. It's a good idea to pay for everything on your card if you can do, because obviously then you've got the evidence in the form of your bank statement. So any other information, again, explain why you've got provisional figures, and just any other information that's relevant. So if you've like changed anything, you can upload your account and you can upload your receipts if you want to, but you don't have to. HMRC might contact you after your tax return and ask for them, so obviously make sure that you do have them just in case. That is pretty much it. So what it will do then is it will show you the summary page again. So you just need to check that everything is correct. So if there's anything where you just want to double check it, you can do. And as you can see as well, these are all now nice green ticks because I have filled everything in. So I'm going to click next. Then it will just show this. Payments on account is something that I need to do a blog post on, but it's basically just a way for self-employed people to spread out their tax payments. So I will write about that. This will tell you how much tax you owe and when you need to pay it by. You can download your return. So you might want to save it, you might want to print it, you might just want to view it, but I would suggest saving it. And then what you'll want to do is click next. And you will need to tick this box to say that everything that you've said is correct. So that's why you might just want to double check your figures, just make sure everything is okay. And click next, and you will need to log in again. What you will see is this page, which you might want to screenshot. You should also receive email confirmation that you have submitted your tax return. Now click exit and sign out, and that is it. So as you can see, it really doesn't take that long at all, and it's pretty straightforward depending on what you do, but for most self-employed people it's pretty straightforward. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have found this helpful.